were leaving. It wasn't up to him anymore. Just for his safety. I didn't, again, I had let him get hit by a Red Bull can. I let him get punched. My job is to ensure the safety and well-being of my clients, and I felt like I hadn't done that. So it was my time to do my job and get him out of there.
So again, not great testimony for Amber Heard, helpful testimony for Johnny Depp when he says that he was the victim in all this and not the abuser. Now, if you're just joining us on our YouTube channel, first of all, thank you so much for watching our live stream on YouTube. They're currently in a lunch break. As soon as they come back, we will jump back live into court. You won't miss any minute. But in the meantime, we're not only recapping some of the most important moments that have happened in court, but we're taking your questions. So if on YouTube, you just pin your question on the channel, and hopefully we'll get a chance to answer it. And that's where I want to go right now. So, and Jeanette, we have from White Widow Baby, and I should say this doesn't even sound like a question to you, Ann Jeanette, more a question to Amber Heard, but from White Widow Baby. Amber, why did you fire your PR team last Thursday? Ann Jeanette, do you have an answer for White Widow Baby?
White Widow Baby, I do have your answer. Apparently, she wasn't happy with the coverage. We had periodically received some information from her former publicist. This is what happens in a trial when you're dealing with celebrities. They have different teams of people who work for them. And apparently, she was unsatisfied with the coverage she was getting. There were a lot of headlines that were good for Johnny Depp and not good for her. We've heard a lot of things about her temper, about the language that she uses. We've heard about the defecation in the bed that the security guard said last week that she took responsibility for. At least she called it a practical joke gone bad or gone wrong. So I don't think she liked any of that. So last Thursday, she fired Precision Strategies, and she has now hired Shane Communications, which has gone up against Johnny Depp in the past. And they represented his former business managers in a lawsuit back in 2017 in which Johnny Depp claimed they defrauded him, but that lawsuit ended up being settled, and it's my understanding from my sources that Johnny Depp received some type of benefit from that settlement, although it is confidential. So these are people who've worked against Johnny Depp in the past, and as she's set to testify and start presenting her case, she wants better headlines for her and her side of the story.
Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty remarkable development to do that, and maybe a risky thing to do in the middle of trial and right before you testify. Now, again, we are going to be taking more of your questions, but I do want to actually go now to Travis McGivern. Again, he testified earlier today. This is Depp's bodyguard, and this is when he was asked under cross-examination. He was asked about that infamous Australia incident where Johnny Depp claims Amber Heard threw a vodka bottle at him, severing his finger. Take a look.
Now, that wasn't the only time you learned of Mr. Depp causing damage in Penthouse 5, correct?
Couldn't say for sure. Nothing's coming to mind.
He had, you said he had something on his hand from his injury that he sustained in Australia, right?
Yes, his hand was wrapped.
Now, you weren't in Australia with Mr. Depp and Ms. Heard, correct?
I was not.
And what he had on his hand could have been a hard cast, correct?
Sure. I have no idea what was under the wrap.
And isn't it true that while he was on the mezzanine level and Ms. Heard and her sister were there, that he was reaching for Amber's hair while he was trying to hit her with that cast, correct?
That is not correct.
And you say that you can't say for sure where Whitney was standing on the mezzanine level during this altercation, correct?
That is correct.
And it's possible that she was standing in between Mr. Depp and Ms. Heard then, correct?
No.
Well, you say you can't say for sure where she was standing. So she could have been standing in between Mr. Depp and Ms. Heard, right?
No, because I stepped in between Ms. Heard and Mr. Depp. So she definitely wasn't standing in between them.
Well, in fact, you saw Mr. Depp push or shove Whitney Heard, correct?
Absolutely not.
And it was only after Mr. Depp pushed Whitney that Amber stepped forward and punched him in the face. Isn't that right?
That is not correct.
Now, what's interesting about that is clearly Amber Heard's side is not denying the punch or the hit. Remember, she was on an audio tape saying that she hit Johnny Depp, but now they're trying to say exactly why she did that. So we're going to more of our YouTube questions right now. Again, if you're on our YouTube live stream, we will jump back live when court starts up again. They're currently in a lunch break, but we are taking your questions. Just pin them on the channel. We're going to go to Good Luck Bo, and this question is for you, Marie. Is there any limitation of their overusage of hearsay objections since her lawyers, meaning Amber Heard lawyers, are clearly overusing it? What do you make of that?
There is no limitation. In comes the role of the judge who has to shut it down. And that's when she says overruled, sustained. There's no limitation. They're advocating for their clients. And it is sometimes kind of lame, even for a non-legal person to watch, because it's so obvious. They're flailing, they're buying time, they're just being ridiculous right now. And that cross-examination was kind of an example of that, because that was a strong, strong witness. And they couldn't shake him. And the fact that they kept saying, isn't it true what you saw? And he just clapped right back. No, I didn't see that. He actually made them look weak, in my opinion.
Well, he had quite a phenomenal beard, and I think that definitely added to something, a part of his testimony as well. Let's go to Corporal Roll Mopes, again, taking your questions on YouTube. Probably asked before, but do we know when Amber Heard herself will testify? So I'm going to answer this partly, and then, Dina, I'm going to go to you. Our indication is, early reports, that she will take the stand this week. We do believe that Johnny Depp is going to wrap up his case. Now, again, trials are very fluid. That could change. I'm going to tweak this question a little bit. If you were representing her, Dina, would you have her testify at the very start of her case, the middle of her case, or the end of the case?
I would not have her start. I would actually have, I believe she's saying that she suffered from post-traumatic stress. I would at least have that expert testify first to kind of combat the expert that Johnny Depp put on, you know, saying that she had borderline disorder, and perhaps her sister, who I believe is going to testify, and she evidently was a witness to this punch, because I think at this point, I don't know how credible she's going to come across, because Johnny Depp's witnesses have been so good. I think they need to do a little bit of rehabilitating their case before they put her on.
Well, I'll tell you, when I showed up today in the early morning hours, the line was longer than I've ever seen, and that's partially due, I think people thought Amber Heard was going to testify today. So clearly there's something in the air. People are expecting this. And again, for our YouTubers, we will jump back live in court once that stream comes up. Once we're back live, they're currently in a lunch break, but we will take your questions. Let's take a quick break on our end. When we come back, we'll have more.